Y'all, it looks like King Combs really is his father's son because some new allegations about him just popped up that will leave you shook to the core just when we thought that we had finally heard the last of the mess from Diddy and his family. Christian's girlfriend Raven Tracy came out to make some crazy but not so shocking allegations about how Christian has not only been cheating on her with men but how he also allegedly put pause on her leaving her with bruises. Chala, it looks like the apple didn't fall off the tree at all because Christian's allegations are just too similar to his dad's, which tells us that Diddy might have had a stronger influence on his sons than we thought. So what exactly did Christian do to Raven? And did he try to blackmail her into silence with her naughty tape? Let's break this down. It's crazy how Christian turned out like this when we always thought that he would be more like his mom, Kim Porter. I mean, sure, we knew that he liked to party, but what guy in his 20s doesn't like to party? He has this image of this cool, laid-back guy. But from what we have found out in the past months, Chala, he is far from being that guy. At first, the public fully supported Christian and his brothers during this chaotic drama, rallying behind them with unwavering loyalty. When the drama initially broke out, fans didn't hesitate to defend them, standing firm in their belief that the brothers were entirely innocent of any wrongdoing. Fans believed that these young men couldn't possibly be involved in the allegations swirling around their father Diddy. It's not like the speculation about Diddy's kids being caught up in his controversies was new. For years, whispers circulated suggesting that his sons might somehow be tangled in the web of his alleged shady dealings, yet fans were quick to dismiss these claims, arguing that whatever their father may or may not have done had nothing to do with his children. People were adamant that Christian and Justin shouldn't be judged or blamed for their father's alleged actions. Guilt by association was not a label they were willing to slap on the brothers, even when things escalated dramatically, like when Homeland Security conducted those high-profile raids on Diddy's properties and Christian and Justin were detained. Public opinion didn't waver. Fans were outraged at the authorities accusing them of crossing the line. They believed the raids were an unnecessary flex of power and were vocal about their perception that the boys were unfairly targeted. Fans argued that law enforcement was overreaching, focusing on the sons when Diddy was the person of interest. Social media was flooded with posts defending Christian and Justin, painting them as collateral damage in what fans saw as a witch hunt aimed squarely at their father. The support was strong and loud, with fans dragging the feds for what they saw as excessive and unwarranted treatment of the brothers. To most, it seemed like the authorities were doing too much, and many people were willing to go to bat for Christian and Justin, firmly believing that the boys were innocent bystanders caught in the fallout of their father's alleged behavior. Things took a sharp turn when Christian became entangled in a serious legal scandal, and the wave of public opinion quickly shifted. The unwavering support he once had from fans began to waver when news broke that he was facing a lawsuit involving a highly sensitive accusation. A woman named Grace O'Marquez came forward with allegations that she had been saw by Christian while working on a luxury yacht that Diddy had rented for a family holiday getaway. According to Grace's account, she had been hired as a stewardess on the yacht during the festive season, just days before New Year's 2023. This meant that the alleged incident would have taken place in late December 2022. The yacht was supposed to be the setting for a peaceful and celebratory family retreat. Instead, it became the center of a legal and media drama. Grace detailed in her lawsuit that what was meant to be a professional and routine job turned into a nightmare. Her accusations sent shockwaves through the public, and people were stunned by the allegations. Many people who had been vocal defenders of Christian and his brothers suddenly found themselves questioning their stance. Could it be that the brothers weren't as innocent as everyone had believed? The revelation marked a turning point in how the public viewed Christian. Lawsuit not only tarnished his image but also raised uncomfortable questions about what might have been going on behind the scenes during Diddy's infamous family trips. It wasn't just about Christian anymore. People started re-examining their perceptions of the entire family dynamic, wondering if there was more to the story than met the eye. According to TMZ, Grace claimed that she was doing her job during the shindig, which she claims was advertised as a family-friendly excursion, and King came on after, which she claims he immediately became fixated on her uncomfortably. So she alleges King had her take a shot of liquor, and she claims she immediately suspected it was spiked. But despite that, she was able to tell him to get off of her and leave her alone. She claims King was trying to kiss and grope her despite her protestations. According to Grace, the ordeal began with a confrontation between her and Christian that quickly escalated. She described a physical struggle during which she managed to break free and put some distance between them. At that point, it seemed like she had avoided the worst. However, the situation didn't end there. Grace claimed that Christian, unfazed unfazed by her resistance, told her to get back to her duties as a stewardess. He allegedly instructed her to find him a place to sleep on the yacht, making it clear that he expected her to comply, feeling cornered and aware of her financial situation. Because she needed the paycheck, Grace said she felt she had little choice but to follow his orders. She led him to the theater room, thinking it was just another task to complete in an already demanding job. But once they reached the theater room, the situation reportedly took a much darker turn. Grace alleged that Christian trapped her there, blocking her escape and leaving her vulnerable. According to her account, this second encounter was far more distressing than the first, as she realized she was in an increasingly dangerous situation. Her story, as outlined in the lawsuit, wrought a wave of shock and outrage. The public, who had initially rallied behind Christian, began to grapple with the gravity of the accusations. The power dynamics that play a young woman employed in a service role on a yacht rented by one of the most influential families in entertainment only added layers of complexity and discomfort to the case. For many, her account raised unsettling questions about the culture of entitlement and exploitation that can sometimes accompany wealth and privilege. According to reports, King cornered her again and attempted to force her to perform or on him, but she says she fought him off and includes in the docs photos of her forearm, which she claims was bruised in the altercation. Eventually, Omar K said she was able to escape, but claims to have suffered mentally and emotionally ever since. Grace and her legal team, led by attorney Tyrone Blackburn, didn't hold back when filing their lawsuit. They not only targeted Christian with the set allegations, but also brought Diddy into the mix as a co-defendant. This move, while bold, wasn't exactly shocking, given that Diddy had rented the yacht for his family's holiday retreat and technically employed Grace during the trip. She argued that he bore responsibility for her safety by failing to ensure a secure work environment and enabling the circumstances that led to the alleged. Diddy was accused of negligence. Grace's legal argument hinged on the idea that as her employer during the trip, Diddy had an obligation to protect her from harm. The lawsuit painted a picture of systemic irresponsibility, pointing fingers at both father and son. It was a nasty accusation, and the optics of Christian and Diddy being named in matching lawsuits for entirely separate serious allegations didn't do either of them any favors. What made it all even messier was Christian's apparent nonchalance about the entire ordeal. While most people might have been overwhelmed by such serious accusations, Christian seemed entirely unfazed. Instead of keeping a low profile or addressing the allegations in a way that might salvage his image, he doubled down on his brash persona. He continued to live as though the allegations didn't exist, partying, posting on social media, and flaunting his lifestyle like nothing had happened. To top it off, he released a song that stirred even more controversy. In the track, Christian openly boasted about how he and his father were going to beat the charges, delivering lines that came across as both defiant and tone-deaf. Given the gravity of the situation, he said, "Knock them walls down like when them Fetty boys running both our cribs. Too bad they ain't know we bought the one next door, cause that's the one they miss. How y'all talking like a ninja? Time up, throwing shade, get your shines up, asking where my pops at." He on the G6 getting the lineup. But that's not all, because he also tried to diss 50 Cent for trolling Diddy, saying, "I dare one of you ninjas scream out no Diddy put all they had was 50 Cent who put the city on the map. Stop lying. Pop's been hated on by many men, and man, that's fine. They're going to try to stop these M&Ms, and they going to die trying." This brazen attitude didn't sit well with the public. For many, it was a slap in the face. To Grace and others who had been affected by similar experiences, the song, instead of rallying support or painting him as confident, only fueled the criticism against him. Fans and critics alike saw his behavior as dismissive, arrogant, and out of touch, further eroding any sympathy he might have had in the court of public opinion. For some reason, instead of maintaining a low profile and addressing his legal troubles with even a shred of humility, Christian chose to take the opposite route. Rather than facing his court case head-on and showing some accountability, or at least acknowledging the gravity of the accusations, he leaned into a cocky, carefree attitude like none of it mattered. His behavior came off as arrogant, almost as if he thought he was untouchable. And it didn't take long for people to notice. The public's frustration quickly turned to outright fury. The fact that Christian didn't issue any kind of statement addressing the accusations, much less try to deny them, rubbed people the wrong way. To a lot of people, his silence on the matter wasn't just a missed opportunity to clear his name, it felt like a slap in the face. Here was a man facing serious allegations, and instead of attempting to show some sort of accountability or even proclaiming his innocence, he acted like it was was just another day in his luxurious life. The cocky demeanor, the flashy social media posts, and the complete disregard for how his behavior might appear to others left a sour taste in people's mouths. Diddy's lawyers realized this, and they immediately raced to defend him. They released a statement on Christian's behalf that said, "We have not seen this woman's claim, but I'm sure we can expect the same kind of manufactured lies we've come to expect from Tyrone Blackburn and his clients, just as we saw in Rodney Jones' lawsuit, which has yet to be served." He adds they learned about the lawsuit the same way anyone hears about Mr. Blackburn's filings through the media. That cocky, I'm untouchable attitude didn't do Christian any favors. Fans were absolutely dragging him for filth, calling him out left and right for his arrogance and complete lack of acknowledgement about the allegations. The backlash was relentless, and it wasn't long before Christian realized he needed to dial it back. Eventually, he wised up, took a step back, and zipped it, at least publicly. The flashy social media antics came to a halt, and he disappeared from the spotlight for a while, letting the storm simmer down. Fast forward a few months, and it seems Christian decided it was time to quietly ease back into the public eye. He started creeping back onto Instagram, posting like nothing had ever happened. No apology, no explanation, no accountability, just a casual re-entry, as if he thought people's memories were short, and we had all forgotten. The audacity didn't stop there, though, and Father's Day rolled around. Christian took things up a notch by posting a glowing shout-out to Diddy, calling him the greatest. Yes, the Diddy who at the time was neck-deep in his own pile of scandals. Christian made a post that said, "Happy Father's Day to the greatest, love you pops," as if the lawsuits, allegations, and drama didn't matter. The post sent fans into a frenzy. People couldn't believe the nerve of him, acting like the past year hadn't been a PR nightmare for both him and his dad. To many, it felt like Christian was doubling down on the very attitude that got him dragged in the first place, ignoring reality and pretending everything was picture perfect. If his goal was to make people forget about the allegations and controversy, this move backfired spectacularly. Instead, it reignited conversations about the lawsuit, the cockiness, and the lack of accountability that had left so many fans furious in the first place. Christian's social media game has been spicy lately, with him posting more than a few attention-grabbing photos of himself and his girlfriend, well, at least his current girlfriend. It seems like he's been out here trying to flaunt his relationship and his, let's say, luxurious lifestyle. But it's not exactly going down well with fans. The issue isn't just the PDA, though, it's the way these pictures are starting to come off, particularly when it seems like the woman in the posts is being objectified. Given the history of his family, especially Diddy with his questionable track record when it comes to treating women, fans are starting to draw some pretty uncomfortable comparisons. They're starting to look at Christian's behavior and wondering if he's following in his father's footsteps. The way he's been posting about his girlfriend, combined with the tone of some of the photos, has many people questioning if he's treating her like a prop or a status symbol. Some of the pictures come across as a bit too much about his image and not enough about her as an individual, which has raised a lot of eyebrows. The parallels to Diddy aren't lost on anyone, especially with all the drama surrounding him and his past relationships. Fans are starting to see a pattern that feels eerily familiar, and they're calling him out for it. In a way, Christian might be digging his own hole by playing into these comparisons instead of distancing himself from his dad's infamous image, which kind of explains the new allegations that his girlfriend Raven Tracy is making against him. According to one of Raven's friends who chose to stay anonymous, Raven allegedly told her that Christian allegedly mistreats her. Now, we don't know if he physically puts his hands on her or if it's more verbal or emotional, but the insider claims that Raven feels stuck in the relationship now. Both Raven and Christian's social media pages tell a different story because they just look like two people who are living their best lives. But then we need to remember that Cassie's relationship with Diddy looked great from the outside. We thought that they had a great thing going on and that Diddy spoiled Cassie, but from what we now know, it was a complete nightmare. There are also reports of him cheating on Raven, but Shyle, that part is not surprising given everything we know about the Combs boys. But I want to know how you guys feel about this, so drop your thoughts in the comments, then check out this next video. And thanks for watching Celebrity Spill, guys.